Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today, and I would like to talk about something that we've all encountered at some stage in our lives, and that is that we can feel like we have failed if the way that we have planned how our lives will move forward in a personal capacity, or whether we're trying to build a business or a career path, or whatever it is for you, or whatever it has been for you, that all of a sudden the rug is pulled and all those plans that we put in place just crumble. Or we could be just going along, cruising along quite nicely, we may think, and then all of a sudden something blocks us, or our lives just suddenly change. Some major life change occurs because of circumstances beyond our control, and that can bring up a lot of emotions and feelings for us. It can make us feel like we've failed, that we're not good enough, that we're helpless to do anything about it. But you haven't failed. You are good enough, more than good enough. And you're not helpless. Because what this actually is, and whatever it is, no matter how challenging it may be, it's a catalyst. It's a catalyst for preparing you for the next stage of your journey, the next part of your journey. It's fine-tuning you. It's not there to set you back. We create that narrative, even though it feels like it. And I just want to give you an example of one of my experiences. I briefly mentioned in my first video about how everything changed for me during COVID, and I was practicing at a therapy centre. I had my own hypnotherapy practice there, which was, was ticking over. And then when COVID came, the centre had to shut. So everything changed immediately for me, because I lost my premises from where I worked from, and the centre was a really, really good support system for me for sourcing clients and marketing. So all that went. And what happened was, if that hadn't have happened, I would never have had the opportunity to discover my gifts as a writer. I wouldn't have had the space to write a book, which my intention is to help a lot of people, and has laid down the foundation really for how I continue to do service moving forward. I would never have had the opportunity to create art and offer workshops for people. And initially I wouldn't have seen that either. I don't remember exactly how I felt at that time. But I know that opportunity came in very, very quickly to, which began writing a well-being column and then evolved into a book. It kind of synergied in very, very quickly, and that's what sometimes happens. You know, one thing feels like it's falling apart because it's making space for something new to come in. And it doesn't always mean that you have to totally abandon the path that you're on. What it means is you're being more effectively, authentically aligned with your life purpose, what it is you're here to do, what service you are here to give in whatever way that is for you. And regardless of what that is, that's what in our hearts we are wanting to do, whether it's through creating your own business, creating a career, whatever that is. It's aligning you, it's preparing you. And it's showing you your gifts if you're willing to see that, to understand that in this way. So it's a pit stop for preparation. Like Formula One racers, that just came to mind. I guess it's because of the pit stop analogy. When drivers are racing in Formula One races, I don't profess to know anything about car racing because I don't, but I do have this understanding that every so often they have to pull in at the pit stop to refuel, to have new tyres put on, to maybe have a drink of water. It doesn't mean they're out of the race. It just means that they need to pull in and prepare so that they can be at their sharpest, so that they can be at their best before they continue with their race. So I guess that's an analogy for what happens with us when we encounter so-called setbacks or unexpected life changes. There's always a gift in it if we're willing to see it, and often we may not see it till further down the line. But there's not failure in that. There's no such thing as failure. It's just a reroute, a recalibration, a fine-tuning. So if any of this has resonated with you today, please press like, share and subscribe. And we're all here to support each other because we're all on our own unique paths. And everybody's story is so invaluable for inspiring others. So please do comment below and share if you've had experiences of where everything felt like it was falling apart, that you were failing, and what you did to transform that into magic, I guess. Sorry, I just lost my thread of what I was going to say. Share how your adversity or so-called failure transformed you onto another path. You know, so many successful people, depending on what success means for you, have evolved because of that so-called setback, because they wouldn't have been able to have had that space to access if they had kept it tight, or if they'd been allowed by the universe to keep it tight and focused. I remember some years ago when I first moved back to Wales and was setting up as self-employed, like a rabbit in the headlights, and I joined this women's business club, and I think we used to meet monthly, and they'd have speakers coming along, women who had set up in business. And I always remember this one lady. She was a very successful dressmaker, and her and her husband just started with just a sewing machine, and became really, really successful, growing their business over the years. And a very humble lady. And out of all the speakers, it was just this one thing that resonated with me. And that was, don't get too focused on your goals, because you will miss out on all those potential opportunities that are trying to come in. So that's what these so-called setbacks and roadblocks do. They are helping us, they are helping you create the space for opportunities and new resources and people to come in that you couldn't have possibly imagined. So thank you for watching me today and listening. And I hope there's been a few little nuggets in here that have supported you and inspired you today. Look forward to speaking to you again soon.